Alright gamers and gamettes, how are you all doing today? Were you expecting just a good video essay or maybe some different content to really kickstart the reboot of this channel? You were? Well, too bad. Because today's a rant video. Because of course it's a rant video. Because I gotta get those sweet views. Anyways, the reason why this aforementioned break happened actually is because I moved to a new semi-permanent location, as I put in my community tab post, and I really like it here, but I did have to switch up one certain thing. You see, where I am at right now, I have been a constant AMC A-list guy. I was a movie pass guy, then switched over to A-list, and that's what I've been riding with forever. But guess what I just did? There is not really an AMC where I'm at that's really super close to me, but you know what there is? There's a Regal. So I got the Regal Unlimited Pass, and because of getting the Regal Unlimited Pass, I've been going to see as many movies as I possibly can, because one a day, what's the point in missing anything? That being said, Regal also has a very interesting program that's been going on for a couple of months now called the Regal Monday Mystery Movie. It's as mysterious as I have made it sound, or the name alludes to. Every Monday, when they choose to, they will put out a $5 screening of a film that they describe as yet to be released in theaters. And that's a very promising thing. It's almost like you're getting an early screening for, a movie that is coming out at the Regal. That's fun. That's a good time. And you don't know what it is. The element of surprise is there. And you know what? That intrigued me enough to be like, hey, $5, it's free for me. Why not just go for it? That sounds like a good time. It is a good time. Yes. And as one does, I do all my reservations through the Regal app, and oh my goodness, what do we have here? A runtime for people to speculate over. 2 hours and 31 minutes. Now, what movie coming out within the next month is 2 hours and 31 minutes? The Fabelmans, the new Steven Spielberg product about Steven Spielberg that everyone has been raving about, coming out at TIFF. A heartbreaking but yet very endearing story. Count me in on seeing that early, especially because it's not coming to where I am in a limited, so I would have to wait for Thanksgiving to even get my hands on it. I am raring and roaring to go. In fact, I'm so confident that it'll be The Fabelmans because of the allotted time and a bunch of people speculating that it would be. I actually go the day of on my computer and download all the Fabelmans interviews, because there are literally 0 clips out there of the movie on my computer, ready and roaring to make this video the night of, come home and pump it out the next day. And my return video is a Fabelmans review? Yes, please. That'll pull in some views. That'll get the people going. I arrive at the theater ready for my experience, and it's about half an hour early, and I'm on the West Coast, and I'm like, ooh, you know what? Let's see what people are thinking. Let's go on Twitter and check out what people are thinking about the Fabelmans. And I look up Regal Mystery Movie, and it's not the Fabelmans. Instead, it's Spirited, the Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds Christmas Carol comedy musical. I am very much considering leaving the theater because what? It's an Apple TV Plus original? That's what your big mystery movie is? And then I scroll down the Twitter app a little bit more, and I start to see some things that interest me. You see, this happened before. On the last screening, that was this Regal Mystery Monday movie screening, there was a time listed that was 1 hour and 55 minutes. And the movie that was 1 hour 55 minutes that was coming out within the next month was Smile. So people entered the theater very excited to go see Smile. And instead, what were they greeted with? The greatest beer run ever. Which, wait, what is that? Oh yes, it's an Apple TV Plus original. Oh, this is interesting now. See, here's my thing, and this is just a little bit rant about that, about the Showtime thing. Just don't show the Showtime then. You don't have to do that. If you want to make it a true mystery and not mislead your audiences, Regal, just don't show the Showtimes. People that actually want to go to those screenings in order to be surprised will be very grateful that you did that, instead of giving them false hope for a better movie that's not. Anyways, the point is, this is a brilliant move by Regal. You partner up with a streaming service, and guess what? You don't need to really pay the money for it. It's a streaming movie. I'm sure you can just get a copy sent ahead of time, and you play it for $5, and you get people to think that they are getting a discounted rate on an actual like tentpole blockbuster film, and instead you just shove a bunch of horse manure in their face that they have absolutely no interest in seeing. Well, the majority. Some people, I am in a place where there's a bunch of older people, mainly just older people, and they all had a fun time with it, and we'll get to that later. But it is such an interesting scheme that they've got going on here. It's essentially it's somewhat of a scam, because you're lying about the runtime, and again, just don't put the runtime. It's that easy, but it's insane. You partner up with Apple, you just push their products as a mystery movie screening, which, by the way, they also say, hey, this is a movie that's not yet in theaters. Of course it's not in theaters. I have not seen a theater around me that is going to be playing Spirited. And the greatest beer run ever, I saw one theater that was playing it. These aren't movies that are going to be in theaters, so of course they haven't been in theaters yet, because they're never going to be, because they're direct-to-streaming services. If you would just advertise it as that, then guess what? You would probably get more people, not more people, but you get the same amount of people in. You would just get less people upset at you. So it's a very interesting marketing tactic that I think is horrible and terrible and just so annoying. Imagine all of the people who are like me, who are just very into movies, going to everything, going to see what they hope to be is The Fabelmans, and instead they get greeted with Spirited, a Christmas musical with giant dance numbers telling a story that has been told time and time again with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. The crossover between people who want to see The Fabelmans and people who want to see Spirited, I can't imagine there's a lot in the middle of that Venn diagram. But since I saw it, here's a mini review of Spirited. Now, I think Spirited is interesting because with a film with such magnitude in its stars, and the fact that it is such a tried and true story that is marketed very well, very consistently, I'm surprised that it really didn't have much of a release build up to it coming out this Friday. But nonetheless, this is a very interesting film in the fact that there are certain caveats that you have to get over in order for you to enjoy it. If you can get over the fact that none of the people can really sing, it's like Will Ferrell, Octavia Spencer, and Ryan Reynolds doing the singing for the most part. If you can get over the fact that their voices aren't great, A. B, if you can get over the fact that it's a story that's very predictable and very boring, then that's B. And C, if you can get over the fact that Ryan Reynolds is just once again Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell is for the most part once again just Will Ferrell, then believe it or not, you can actually have somewhat of a fun time. The first half of the film, to me, is pretty insufferable. There's constant quips and jokes and really, really annoying one-liners that do not fit in with the rest of the tone of the movie, and it's so insufferable to hear these constant back and forth. It's almost like Ghostbusters 2016 level of bad. It's almost like they just let them improv and just go off of each other, and it's very frustrating. But once you get into that second half, it really does start to show more of a heart and more of a somewhat complex message for the caliber of film that it is, and the music starts to become a little bit more endearing the more, maybe it's just exposure therapy, maybe because I've heard their voices for the first half be so just mediocre that it starts to sound better because I'm just adjusting to it. But overall, it's a fun family time. You can enjoy this with family. It's not anything special remotely, but I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to, which I thought I was going to despise it. So overall, at the end of the day, I am going to give Spirited a 3 out of 10. It's bad, but it's enjoyable, and that's really all I can say about it. But also, at the end of the day, I am going to give the Regal mystery movie a 0 out of 10. The first 0 out of 10 in the history of this channel. Regal, you need to do better, or else people will actually just not come to these things. If you manage to market it in a different way and you flip the way that you approach it, then people will still come to it. Sure, you probably won't get as many people to come to see it, but in all reality, who's really going to a Regal anyway? Who's really going to Regal over an AMC or just a local theater? I don't really think there's that many people going to Regals anymore. The Regal I'm going to is dead. It's literally dead. There's about, at max, 7 people per screening, at minimum me, 1. So get your act together, or just don't do it at all, I guess. Stop scamming the people who go to your movies. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are having a good day. As I put on my community tab, updates in the future, different types of content. That's not this, but yeah, more content coming, lots of it, fun times. Next up will be a Black Panther Wakanda review. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.